Good evening, guys. So this evening I want to show you how to take this image right here of a wedding I photographed last year and take it from this and edit it into this. We're going to be adding some overlays using a topaz filter and a couple of actions that I use regularly. So let's get started. So we have the image opened up in Photoshop. The very first thing we're going to do is right click the layer and duplicate it. That way we're not affecting the original image. The very first thing I want to do is take care of this section here. You can see where the grass here is a little bit more yellow than on the other side. So we're going to use the clone stamp tool for this. So we'll find the clone stamp tool, increase the size of the brush, and just outside of it where it is green we're going to press Alt and left button on the mouse and select that area. Now we're going to paint that in. Decrease the size of the brush, take another piece of the green over here by pressing Alt and the left key on your mouse and simply painting that in. Now we'll zoom in and have a look, and that has removed most of the yellow that's there. Now the next thing we want to do is go to Filter, down to Topaz Labs and use Topaz Adjust. I want to just give it a punch using a HDR filter that Topaz creates. So in Dramatic 2, Dramatic 1 makes it too bright, Dramatic 2 is just about right. So if we select that and press OK. We're just waiting for that. Now you can see that the filter has been applied to this here. Now I just want to duplicate this layer again, and I'm going to name this Topaz. It just lets me keep track of what I'm doing as I'm going along. Now I want to take care of the brickwork here and the colors that are around the bandstand area up here. So to do that I will create a hue adjustment, a hue saturation layer. Click on that, and I'm going to click this little button here just to be working on the topaz layer that I created. So with that clicked, I can go in, choose reds, increase the saturation of the reds, bring it up to 50. Now I can go down to the yellows, increase the yellows up, and I'm looking at the brickwork here. I want the brickwork to be kind of glowing, but when I'm moving the yellow I can see the patches around the grass is also increasing, but that's okay. Now while I have the hue and saturation layer selected, I click on the white box and I press Control I or Command and I on a Mac, and what that does is it inverts the colors that we have just done. So I take a soft brush, change my color to white, and I keep my opacity at about 70%, flow at 100%, and I start painting the color back into the brickwork here. Zoom in a little bit, decrease the size of the brush, I want to kind of give the brickwork a glowing look. There's enough light coming from the image itself to help create that. So by saturating the colors, I'm able to paint in that yellow where it should be. Just paint on the steps here also. Now you can be as neat as you want with this, but I'm just going to show you. And if you make a mistake, you can simply change the brush back to black, like over here. Zoom in, decrease the size of your brush, and paint back out where you went over. Like that. Now I zoom back out, go back to my white brush because there's a lot of color in this ceiling area here with the lights. And what I actually did here was I used two flashes. You can see one flash right here, the couple. It's got a sphere, a mag sphere on it, and the other flash is out here behind me as I'm photographing them, and it's got a grid on it. Anyway, we'll zoom back in and we'll start coloring in the bandstand here. And what we're doing is when we inverted that layer, we took the color away that we saturated, and now we're just painting it back in. And if you make a mistake or if it doesn't look right, now these poles are red and I want to bring out some of that red, so I'm just going to decrease the size of my brush and I'm going to paint down along the poles. Again, you can be as neat as you want when you're doing this. I'm just quickly going over this just to show you. There's so much color going on in this image that you want to just bring out a hint of it, because when you get to the later stage of the editing, they'll all show up. It was raining all day at this wedding and I knew I wanted to use the bandstand for an image. So it started to ease off slightly. Let's correct that. It started to ease off slightly and we made a run for it. Now that we can see that we've got the colors and everything added in here, we're going to merge the hue saturation layer with the topaz layer. So we simply just click on both of them, right click, merge layers. Now when we have that done, I'm going to use an action called Sean Archer Portrait Actions. They're designed for portraits, but I use them a lot for a lot of the stuff that I do, and especially the split toning section of it. So we're going to click on split toning and we're going to run this action. We're going to leave the action do its job here, and you can add these actions in one by one. So when the action is finished, it gives you a list of thumbnails of what the image would look like. So you just turn the thumbnails off over here on the right, and you go down and you try which one of these tones best suits your image. Now you can add 2 tones together, 3 tones together, whichever look you're going for. So I'm going to turn on the first tone, turn it off. Now that you can see that it's crushing in the shadows and it's taking away the green color an awful lot. But I'm going to leave on the first tone and I'm going to press the second tone on also. And I like that. So what I'm going to do is I am now going to select the second tone, going to select my brush, and I'm basically going to take that tone off the brickwork. I want the brickwork at all times to look kind of golden yellow as much as possible, because it's more or less like a leading line leading into the couple. And I'm going to go to the first tone, and I'm also going to take, and you can see that it's starting to brighten up just a little bit. We can give the illusion that this was shot in the dark, when in fact it was about 30 minutes before sunset, or before it started to get dark. And now I'm just painting around the brickwork here just to give it that golden effect, or that glowing effect. Now when we're happy with that and we've painted enough, again guys, you can spend as much time as you want on it. I want to add a vignette around this just to darken it down a small bit and make it look a lot more mysterious. And in the Sean Archer preset, or the Sean Archer actions that they have here, you've got vignetting right here. So I'm going to run that action. We're going to leave that do the business there while we wait. You can also see that none of the lampposts have lights in them, so we're going to stop that. But we're going to add lights to this using overlays in just a bit. So now we've got the vignettes. After finishing, we're going to open up that folder and we're going to click on the top one here, which is 400 pixels. And you can see when we turn it on and turn it off, it kind of crushes in the image. It creates a vignette around it, and it focuses more on the center of the image. But it's already set at opacity 30%, but we want to increase that up to about 50-60%. So we bring it up to 50 and we have a look. Yeah, for now this is okay. If we want to change it, we can come back to it. While we have the vignette still selected, the white box here selected, we're going to paint out the vignette around the brickwork right here. We don't want it on the brickwork. We want to kind of give the illusion that the brickwork is a leading line into the couple. So you can see that we have removed that right there. And again, guys, you can spend as much time as you want on this. I'll leave a link below for the filter I used and the actions I've used in the description. So now when we have that complete, we want to bring in the lights. We want to make it look like these lampposts are lighting up. But I want to crop the image in just a little bit. So I want to come in and past this post here. Oh, go back. Past this post here and bring it in a little bit on the side also. So I'm going to bring it in like that, and about the same. I'm just judging it by the brickwork here. Do I have an equal amount on either side? And press OK. Now I'm going to add my overlay, and these are overlays I purchased from, I think it was Alexander. So I think I purchased these from, I'll tell you now, from Alexandro Di Kiko. I don't know how you pronounce that, but anyway, inside his overlay bundle, he's got a light overlays. You can see the light pack right here. And I'm going to choose the sun, or I'm going to the sun number 9. So we're going to place that in there. Press OK, and now I'm going to change the blend mode to screen. You can see that it's glowing there. We're going to resize that light. Just grab one corner, drag it down. I'm going to bring it over to there. Now that's a little bit too orange, this light overlay. So I think we're going to go for number 8 instead of number 9. I'm going to take that away, delete that, and go back in and get the number 8 one, which is this one here. Select that, press OK, and change the blend mode to screen. There we go. Now we're just going to grab one corner of it to resize it. Drag it over to your light right here, and we're going to zoom in. We're going to just resize it and place it in the center of the light post. Press OK. We're happy with that, or we could just increase the size of it just a little bit because it's going to be glowing out, isn't it? And just recenter it into the center of the light post. And we're happy with that. We simply press Ctrl J or Command J on a Mac, and what we've done is we've created a second overlay light. We'll just drag that across to this light post and place it in the center of that. We'll resize it because we'll resize this one because this light post is a little further back and it's smaller. So we'll simply move along, and we've got another light post over here. So while we still have this one selected, we're going to press Ctrl J or Command J on a Mac, and we've created another layer. You can see we've just started creating another layer using this light overlay. We'll drag it across, and we're going to place that one in the center here. Just zoom in to make sure that it is in the center. And we're going to move across, zoom out, and we have another light post here. Readjust this one, and we're going to press Ctrl J once more, and we're going to drag this light across to this light post. And now we've got a bigger one right here. Again, we're just going to press Ctrl J or Command J. We create another layer, bring it across to this, and because this light post is in the foreground, we're going to make this a bit bigger. And now we can zoom out. So now you can see that we've created the light in each of these light posts right here. All we're going to do right now is we're going to select all the layers down to the hue and saturation layer that we've been working on. So all we do for that is make sure that we have the top layer selected, go down to the hue saturation layer, hold the shift key, press the left button, and now they're all selected. Right click it, merge layers together, and we've got the image almost ready. Now we want to add in the rain, and again from the Alexandro overlays that he sells on his website, you can, when you buy them, you get a list of them. You get a list of all of these overlays that he uses, that he's created, and that he sells. I'll leave a description I'll leave a link in the description below. But anyway, we go into the rain one, and we're going to choose one of these. I know that number 4 works well with this image, so I'm going to choose number 4, but you can choose any one you want. And we're going to place it right there. Just going to hold the shift key, and I'm going to resize the overlay for the size of the image. Going to press OK, and we're going to change the blend mode of this rain overlay to screen. Now you can see we've got the rain falling on the image, but it's a bit too much, it's a bit too harsh. It's, you know, it's like a storm more or less, that it's raining really, really badly. What we're going to do is just bring the fill down to about 80%, and we're going to bring the opacity down to about 80%. Right here in the center, we wouldn't expect to see a lot of the rain around the couple, so we're just going to create a mask, and you can see that the mask has been created right there. We're going to choose a black brush, keep our opacity at 100%, and we're going to paint away the rain from the couple and away from the steps like that there. I'm just going to paint it away from the inside of the roof, because the rain wouldn't be hitting the inside of the roof. And again, guys, you can spend as much time as you need to on this. This is just a quick tutorial to get you used to using overlays and filters. Now we'll zoom back out, we'll have one look at it, and it looks really good. The last thing I want to do to this is kind of add like a shadow, a foggy shadow effect. Now there's a couple of ways I can do this. I can go up to the curves adjustment layer right here, click on that. You see it's opened up here, and what I can do is create two points on this line. I can click down here and click more up towards the top, click on that. Now you can see I've got 2 points created. I can just drag the bottom part up, and you can see the image is starting to create this shadowy, foggy effect. Or we can delete that, and the other way we can do it is by using the finishing effect in the Sean Archer presets. So we click on the finishing effect, we'll run this action. It is stopped. We open up the folder, finishing effects folder, and inside here you'll see there's a shadow wash. We click on it. That's what we're pretty much looking for. We might just paint a little of it away from the brickwork here, just to make that pop. So we'll select on the white box next to shadow wash, take a black brush, make sure our opacity is at 100%, increase the size of the brush, and we simply paint it away. And there you have it. And we'll merge all of these together. And you can see this is what we started with, and this is what we ended up. It gives it a lot more mystical, dramatic effect working on it. It was raining that day. It was raining pretty bad the entire day. It just kind of eased off when we made a run for this, and I wanted to recreate that when I was editing it, and this is what we ended up with. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please subscribe, and I'll show you more in the weeks and months to come of how I edit some of my images. I will leave a link in the description below of the actions and presets, the overlays that I've used to create this image. Until the next time, bye bye.